Hey guys, this is Tournament Rider from WCRplays.com. So yeah, this is going to be on the solo Tauren chieften and the power that you can get out of that. And he's actually a pretty good hero solo because his aura really complements well with an overall very slow race, being orc. The solo Tauren chieften, the only thing that really options that you have with him are either stomp or shockwave. So let's go ahead and unpause in 3, 2, 1. Okay, unpause. Okay, I'm top left. He is top right. And if you look at my base, I'm trying to make it a lot more open, kind of grubby style, so that I can fit my shop in. Because with Tauren chieften, they can very easily harass and pressure you in your base. So you really want your shop to not be out there at the front of your base to be the first thing that's attacked, because you really need that for healing and everything else. So it's important to get your shop up and running well. He's going to be doing a typical human strategy of fast expanding, because most orcs will go Blade Master, and Blade Master is horrible at stopping the fast expansion. And after that, they'll just pressure you, and then they'll mass air, and then you'll lose. But with the solo Tauren chieften in the game, Berserkers, along with that orb, are just going to absolutely tear him apart, and you will get to see that a little bit later in the replay. If you look at my base, you're going to be like, what the heck? Why is that burrow all the way on the left side out front? It's because I'm going to put this shop in between that Rex and that burrow, and I kind of guesstimated how big of a space it would be, and it turned out it was just perfect enough for a shop. And always get a shop before you tech with a chieftain, because if they pressure you early, you're going to have to be able to heal and get your mana back and whatever else happens. So, and speed scrolls and stuff like that. So always get a shop up early before you tech. So obviously I can't harass him because he will destroy me, and I'm not going to be able to stop the fast expansion because Tauren chieften can't stop it due to the fact that you can have aura or shockwave or stomp to start with. And level 1 of any of those really isn't enough to game change it to the point where they can easily, where you can easily stop their expo or whatever they're doing. And I figure he probably is fast expanding, but even if he is, there isn't much I can do about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and creep out what I can. And if you take off Fog of War, which you probably have, I mean, not a huge surprise, he's fast expanding. Anyway, so I'm just creeping, because I don't care if he expands, because if he masses air, I have the counter to his unit, and if he goes ground, I have Shockwave. I do believe I have Shockwave. I might have gone Stomp, because I didn't know it was a human, so... Or no, I knew it was a human, so I went Shockwave. Pretty sure. Anyway, so... Now I'm just going to get these trappers, because that gives me level 2. He's going to creep a lot faster than me because he has water elementals, and those really help you creep. So I'm going to have a little bit of slower levels than him, and he's going to have an expo, but it's not going to matter later on, as you'll see. The whole key with the Tauren chieften early is to just not lose the game, because early on he's very weak, but it's not the beginning of the game that decides who wins, it's the end. And he is probably the strongest end-of-game hero. Maybe a couple others, like Warden, DH. Yeah, those two. Maybe an endgame Paladin. Yeah. No, probably Tauren chieften. Tauren chieften is definitely one of the best endgame heroes, as his aura means your army is fast, and his moves will rip them apart if they're on the ground. And coupled in with headhunters and berserkers and kodos, then air doesn't hurt you either, so you're pretty much set up to counter whatever they throw at you. Anyway, so he's towering up, and he's creeping what he can. Meanwhile, I'm just going to creep out my stuff because I need high level Tauren chieften, and I really don't care what he does. I really don't care what unit combination he has, because I'm going anti-air. So now I have 3 grunts, and or 4 grunts, sorry, and in between the second. Well, actually, I should have gotten my war mill a little earlier, but I didn't have the gold, so whatever. I always try and get my war mill at about the 3rd grunt, about maybe the 2nd grunt, so that after 4 or 5, or 3 or 4, so 3 to 5 grunts, I can start pumping out headhunters, because any more grunts, and it's too much, because then you'll be too weak to air. And in this game, I think I made the mistake of getting a few too many grunts, so just try and get that war mill up earlier, and less grunts. 4 max, I'd say. I have 6 already, so that was a mistake by me. I should have done that. So his Archmage is now level 3, and my Tauren chieften is almost level 3. And he has an Expo and towers, and he's now teching. I am probably, I'm almost done with my deck, and he is about a fourth of the way in. So tech, really pretty big advantage, but the expo makes up for it. So now he's creeping it up with his Archmage, and I'm creeping. And with Tauren chieften, you really don't want early game harassment on you harassing him, because you can't harass with the Tauren chieften, as his moves are not very good for harassing until late game. High level Shockwave can be a good harass if they have like workers at an expo, and they're not Night Elf, which in the imbalance can hide their workers in the expo, thus making them invulnerable to harassment. But I'm not facing Night Elf, I'm playing a Seaman who has workers there. So now I'm coming up on level 4, and I figure, well, I'll just creep this line of creeps. The HP fountain, then the gold mine, then the screen camp, then the shop, and then I can go and check and see if he's expoed, and it's the next thing, so it's not that big a deal if I just go and check that afterwards. Always have your Tauren chieften tank, as he has very high hit point regeneration, and especially on Echo, you're going to get some good items that are going to help prolong hero life, like Ring of Protection, +2, that adds about 10% of HP, so that's like adding... it's like adding about 100 HP to a Tauren chieften at 1,000 health, which he is at right now. And then Ring of Regeneration, 2 hit points per second. The regen's pretty damn fast. So I go over here and I check it out, and yeah, he has a fast expansion. So I do a Shockwave, because I'm just see what I can do a little damage to all the towers. And that actually hurts a lot, because everything in the way just took 130 damage. So that means you have to repair and heal his workers or whatever. And he attacks my base, because after you expo, you always want to harass, and you make sure he has defend. But I can trap his Archmage there. So even though he takes out a burrow, maybe 2, yeah, it gets 2 burrows. I should have repaired that. But he takes out 2 burrows, and I have way too many grunts. I have 7 grunts. No, never do that. That's way too many. You'll see a battle where I kind of get owned, but my Tauren chieften owns, so it's all good. So he has an expo, and I do not. As for food, I'm at 39, he is at 45, and he is now constructing dual Griffin Averys for mass air. I'm now constructing burrows for food. So it's a good counter. The only problem with Echo is there isn't a lot to creep. So I'm creeping whatever I have left, which is this little yellow orange camp thing right outside the front of my base. Then I'm going to go heal up so my units are at full health. And then I'm probably going to go to the mana fountain, as I do not like to creep the bottom left and the bottom right things, because they are so far away from your base, and I don't have a teleport, so and you don't really need one unless you creep those things, because they're so far away, your base can be pretty much destroyed by the time you get back. So, that's pretty much it. He set a footy on patrol on my expo to make sure I don't expo, but no worries, I don't need to expo. That's the great thing, because usually with Orc, I'm so scared about losing to mass air that I try to expo when they push and then they kill it, and I have grunts, and then they have mass dragon hawks and griffins, and they come in and they kill me, and I'm like, oh god, this isn't fair. Anyway, so he's at 50 food. He's saving up his gold so that he can mass some griffins and some d-hawks. I have a Kodo out for some increased damage output, and now he's gonna try and burrow own. And I'm at Fortress, but I don't have the burrow upgrade, so they're gonna get kind of owned. But burrow damage plus grunt damage is gonna do some heavy damage to those footmen. I know that's a lot of damage in a row. He takes out 2 or 3 burrows, I think. But what wave is just really good here, as footmen are all in a tight group together, and they have low HP, and I have level 2 wave. So first wave goes off, and everything goes from green to yellow, or yellow to red, and he kills another burrow. So it's not looking very good for me at this point, but I'm not out of it, believe me. You'll see. Another wave goes off, anything yellow goes red, anything red dies. 3 footmen, 4 footmen, down, kills another burrow. So it's pretty nasty, but I've killed a lot of footmen. Another shockwave kills 2 more footmen, and the mountain gets away with 4 HP. Yep, 4 HP. So I should focus that with like a peon or something, and it would have died. But you can't always go back in time and change it. You actually cannot. So he's massing Dragonhawk Riders. I have a few Berserkers, a Kodo, and my beastie Tauren chieften with no orb yet, but that will change. He's currently level 5, so that means level 3 Shockwave. And you might be wondering why I'm creeping out this mana fountain. Well, it'll give me an item, and I will get a tomb as well, and I can replenish my mana. So, pretty good deal. Plus lots of gold for killing the creeps. So overall, just good stuff. Good stuff. Just no experience. So I know he's massing air because I haven't seen any casters, and he came in and he's repeatedly tried to just kill burrows at any cost. So that means he's massing air. I know this from the reasons I just gave. So now I have a good amount of berserkers, and he has defense. I can't focus the berserkers on them, but it doesn't matter because Shockwave will own them in, I believe, 2 shots and about a hit from a Tauren chieften, and a footman dies. So kill lots of footmen. It's all good. Now Dragonhawks are horrible versus berserkers. Notice from the fact that they take double from berserkers, and yet berserkers take really high percent reduced from them, and it's not like they have a lot of HP. They barely have more than a berserker. The only good thing is they're flying. So I go in for harass with my Tauren chieften, and if you look at that shockwave, it almost killed everything, and the second shockwave came in, killed a bunch of peasants. Everything's burning. That's a high level shockwave harass. It's deadly. I mean, 3 workers down, almost everything's in red, all the buildings are in low orange, so it's pretty nasty. Yet now he's going to go for my base, and if I had been at, say, tier 2, this would have been a extreme base owning. But it's no problem at all because I have that burrow upgrade that you get at tier 3, which is one of the advantages of fast taking to tier 3. So there's really not going to be much burrow owning, as Dragonhawks do like 5 damage to them, and Griffins do more than that, probably like 20, maybe 15. But he teleports. He decides he's going to save his expo. Probably a smart decision. Anyway, so he's at 77 food. I am at 47. He's going to just go straight for the anti-air, because once the anti-air is gone, I can't do anything. So I kill some footmen, I level up, I'm not 6, and I have reincarnation. So you can't focus the Tauren chieften now. Well, you can, but he will just kill you. I realized that I have way too many headhunters, not nearly enough, way too many grunts, not nearly enough headhunters, so I have to run. Because he has a ridiculously bigger army than me of air, and I have no counter to it. He's 31 food above me. But with Shockwave, I managed to kill most of the workers and almost kill most of the towers, so it's a good deal. Good trade-off. I'll take it. So now, if you look at his expansion, it is down at about 8,000 gold. My expansion is at 12,500, which is what it comes with. So he's had about 2,500 more gold. No, 4,500 more gold than me. No, 5,500. My bad. No, 4,500. It's 4,500, guys. Sorry. So he's had 4,500 more gold than me, and yet he has way higher food. I have no anti-air, and it's kind of like, how do you win this tournament, Ryder? I don't understand. Well, you will, guys. It's called the power of a solo Tauren chieften. I'm pretty sure here I'm going to sell a couple items, probably my rings of protection, as I have reincarnation now. Maybe my ring of regeneration. And I'm going to buy myself an orb, so I can start pounding up some air. I sell my claws of attack. It was only +6, so I get that back with the orb. Plus the Kodo's aura, I'm getting +15. Minimum damage 60, maximum is going to be 70. So it's a nice amount of damage. So here we go, another battle. He immediately focuses down my anti-air, and I immediately focus on his air. I make sure that I'm always tagging the same unit, and they die pretty fast overall. Definitely die decently fast. And the Griffins have more health, but I'm going to focus the Dragonhawks as they have way less, and I can kill them pretty easily. And the Footmen are just getting owned because I have grunts, and that's the only good thing about having that many grunts is they are owning the Feetmen. There are no Feetmen left; they all died. So I'm just making sure I focus well, and the Coda goes down, which is always a bummer because I lose the aura. But the Tauren chieften and the Berserkers just owned all the air. They just killed it all. I don't think I've even gone over 50 food. If so, I went over by just a little bit. And he's at 67, yet I held him off and managed to win that battle. So now my Tauren chieften is at level 7. This means level 3 aura, and I see a Griffin, and because of my orb I can freeze it up, get an easy kill. So I'm at level 7. And